Hi, this is a little dwarf playing games while rambling incoherently into a microphone. Why? Well, just because I can. And I continue with Elex, blind. Now it seems the guy that was guarding the archives has gone on a trip of sorts somewhere, which is weird because he said he only retreats during the night for prayer. But let's hack into this, manipulate access to the archives.
Name added to the access list. That should get me in.
Yeah, that's totally not suspicious at all. Like, he won't be suspicious of that at all. A reasonable person would certainly believe that a random stranger that has arrived into town an hour ago suddenly has access to the archives. It makes absolute sense to me. Judicator Ulbricht. Okay. And this, I think, just goes round. Kalan's bulwark. Is that a shield? It's interesting, but I'm not going to steal it. Like, generally, I try not to take things that do not belong to me. Unless it's like documents or lore.
Yes, the newcomer. Now, there is a face that shows the world as it is. Conflict, friendship, betrayal, and trust. Let me get a look at you. Whatever you have seen, you are free of it now. You've reached us here.
Interesting. So, you think we should wipe our memories? Surely our experiences could prove useful.
Experiences, yes. But most people come with fears and worries and guilt from their past. Here is a place to forget those things.
I need to talk to you.
Then talk. Tell me what you want.
The clerics say that they are leading the fight against the Alps. But do you really expect you can beat them with the forces you have here in the Hort?
Faith is a weapon that can achieve much. I believe in Kalan. I believe in the technology he's given us, and in the men and women who carry it. We clerics were the first of the factions to rise after the ashes of the comet, and while other alliances have come and gone, we have prevailed. So, we shall continue to do so, if it is Kalan's will that we should do so. But, if you ask me if we can hold out against the Berserkers, the Outlaws, and the Albs, then I would ask whose interest would the destruction of the Hort serve? And the answer can only be the Albs. You've seen them. The converters they build on our lands. The will of Kalan shall be made real. We will drive them from the converter in the north and from the lands of all the free people. The clerics shall prevail, and I hope that other factions can realize this in time to save themselves.
And you think the other faction should serve under the clerics?
We must work together if we are to survive. But we must work together with Kalan to lead us all. We must find a way to persuade the other factions to agree to work with us. Then together we can destroy the Albs. I need an ambassador for this task. Someone who can take my proposals to the other factions. But to know if you are suitable for this role, I must know who you are. And I need an honest answer.
I don't know who I am now, but I was Jax, an Alp commander.
And you walk in here and confess that? Since when do Albs come to talk? Are you lying? Or are you here to kill me? Draw your weapon here, and this cathedral will be a grave to both of us.
I'm not here to kill you. I was Jax. Now, I'm trying to find out who I am.
Then, you have renounced the hybrid and joined the free people?
I am free from Elex. I'm exiled from the Ice Palace. I was betrayed, and now I'm being hunted by my own people.
So you're here seeking protection? To save your own skin? Or have you really escaped the Elex and seen the life there is outside Zekor? Commander Jax, the Alb, standing here. That is not something I would have believed. Yet, here you stand.
I was a wanderer. Now, I seek a cause.
Well, whoever you were shouldn't matter. The present counts for all, and yesterday for little. Kalan says the past is there to teach us, not judge us. Renounce your past, and you can come to Kalan in wisdom. That will take courage. And in these bleak days, courage is vital if we are to save this world. But you must have questions. Ask, and may Kalan bring you enlightenment.
Are the Albs still attacking the Hort?
It has been some time since their last major assault. But I'm sure you know that already, Commander Jax. But the attacks we suffered took too many brave souls. Souls who would have been better improving Megalan than lining graves. The death of Judicator Johann was a particular shot. But for the price that was paid, there was one exacted, and the Albs haven't attacked us in such strength again. Well, that is my hope. They could simply be massing for a bigger assault. We've had time to retrain, regroup, but it is hardly a secret that we are short of personnel. So, if you are here working for the Albs, you'll see nothing that's not known already. And we know that the Albs have used the time to entrench themselves deeper at that damned converter of theirs. Perhaps securing that was the extent of their plans, or perhaps they're just waiting for us to attack it before they strike again.
What do you know about the Alb forces? The most recent information I have is that Commander Urich has 3 garrisons supported by fighting machines and colossi.
Then I can only hope they haven't brought up any more reinforcements.
Will you wait for an Alb attack or strike first?
The converter has to be taken out of operation. It is the only way to free Ignadon, and the longer they sit there, the more time they have to prepare. We need to attack the converter, but it will take a major offensive, and that will cost us in lives and material.
Why have you waited so long to attack? Surely they get stronger while you're waiting.
The answer to that should be obvious when you walk around the Hort. While our production lines have made up for our losses in fighting machines, they can't do the same with people. And the death of Judicator Johann has left us with another issue. The shortage of a commander with real field experience.
What about you? Can you lead the attack?
No. That is far from my skill set. Logistics, defense, and interpreting Kalan's commandments are where my strengths lie. We need someone like you. An experienced commander. Someone who understands the Albs. What about you? You've seen the world. You must understand something of the Albs. Would you fight with us? Soldier or commander, we need people who have seen the world.
I don't know. My memories of those times are only fragments. Though I'm sure I was betrayed so someone could take my place.
No? Well, humility is an important trait in a leader. Or do you have another reason for not wanting to be considered?
If that is so important, why entrust it to someone who has just walked in through your doors? Do you always trust people so easily?
I trust my faith, and there is something about you that tells me you have a part to play in all that will come. Faith will show me the way, but perhaps you are intended for a different role. Will you go out as an ambassador to the free people? Speak to those who lead the other factions. Find me someone with experience, someone independent, someone who can lead. That in itself will give you a hand in shaping all our futures.
I will find you your experienced commander.
Good. Then go out to the other free people. This commander will be a symbol of the need for us all to work together. Be they separatist, berserker, or outlaw. Find someone with experience of leading troops in battle. Someone willing to risk themselves to stop the Albs. Someone willing to lead from the front by example.
You sound like you really believe we will find someone out there.
Faith and necessity sometimes breed hope. You should ask the leaders of the other factions if they will take on this role. If they decline, try their commanders. May Kalan and good fortune be with you.
Okay. Let's see if the archive guard has returned, because if so, I can try pretending that I have access.
Alt, state your business. Only officially authorized personnel may enter.
How many times are you going to repeat that?
Until you understand that only authorized personnel may enter.
But wait, I am actually authorized.
Get out of the way.
The archives are restricted. Why should I let you enter?
Because I'm authorized to enter.
We will see. One moment. You're right. But I don't remember seeing your name on the list beforehand. It seems you are authorized. Please enter, but I beg you, do not disturb the archivists. Remember, silence is a virtue.
Okay, so let's go in and try to find the book. Senior Physician's Report 1. It's not exactly it, but I will read it nonetheless.
Please, I have study to complete.
Another picture. Again, probably of Piranha Bytes themselves. Writings on the calendar year. I will pick up all of the books and read them, so I'm very much interested, you know, in the lore and the like. Treatise on Elex. War stories. Senior Physician's Report. Number 2. Laboratory Director's Report. A forbidden journal, you say? That makes me instantly interested. It's kind of like an additional function.
Did you get lost?
Of the word, you know, forbidden. People are automatically interested in things that are forbidden.
What are you doing here?
Okay, so that's where I came from, right? Well, no. Oh, right, okay. Okay, I think that's it for the archives. So let me get out before they notice that I've robbed them. Wait. That's not where I originally went, so I guess there was another level to the library, which is good, that means more books for me. Okay, that's a gemstone. I'm not necessarily interested in that. I'm mostly interested in books and lore. So I think I picked up everything in that regard. So, let's read all of the books then. There's quite a few of them. Arvid's teachings, the prophecies and principles for life as dictated by the prophet Arvid. This is a mix of philosophy, technical data and history. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me right now. There was a time of despair. I had no answers when this seized me. The reason for all these horrors evaded me and I was lost. In this dark hour I opened myself up to Kalan in a dream. He showed me the way. We are chosen. We will survive this test of history through technology. All we need to do is keep Kalan's commandments and infinite skies will open to us. We must purify our souls and become dedicated to our task. It is our holy duty to help bring every lost soul to the path of purity and enlightenment. The comet was sent to punish us. Kalan warned us of this. He offered salvation. Now the world is burning, so we must find our way to earn his grace. I learned of his great plan to renew the world, and I'm here to guide those who had the strength to survive the comet that came to change us. Salvation is coming for everyone who passes Kalan's tests. Walk the path and observe all of his commandments, and the infinite skies will welcome you. It's definitely suspicious how they directly mention a name of a pre-collapse corporation. Work from a botanist. Contamination of samples. Sample I-56 has died. None of the samples have survived long without light. Sample R23 is slowly growing with the assistance of artificial light. I plan to make minimal adjustments to the spectrum tests, beginning with the sample R24. Testing is going too slowly. At this pace we will starve before we find a solution. If only Mr. Gideon was here. He has already solved the problem of growing plants in space, but his records are so patchy. I can't replicate his work. Well, now my work takes on more importance. The research intended for space. Now we need it to survive the post-impact world, where temperatures have plunged and the skies are only darkness. Today, while making the rounds, I noticed something on samples B467 and 468, 469 while making the rounds. Okay, it repeats this phrase. The water is contaminated. As I was about to dispose the sample, I noticed a change in the plants. They are thriving. I will monitor the progress. Day 62 after the impact. The plants are mutating at incredible rate. Whatever is contaminating the water is nothing I have seen before. We must discover the nature of this substance. Okay, so those are actually experiments from just after the collapse, like 60 days before the comet. I mean after the comet. So those are not contemporary research done by the clerics. A forbidden text covering now prohibited experiments with Elex, supposed to be restricted to the cleric's archives. I have discovered that our people conducted experiments with Elex in the past. There are isolated texts about this. These must be kept confidential. It is also clear that my research must remain secret. My brothers and sisters would not understand my aims. They are blinded by their belief. I can see that Elex is a very special power. We only use it as an energy source for machines, but I believe people can also be improved by Elex. It is just that no one has dared to test the limits of Elex until now. There are records of cases where Elex did not lead to the degradation of the subject. The research shows degradation depends on the strength of will. Mental strength determines what Elex does to a person. Elex can give a person power if they are strong enough. I believe I am. My experiments are progressing well. I have discovered a dosage that my body can adapt to. I am proceeding very carefully, but I will not have to hide my work much longer. Soon I will leave this world behind to take a new course. My mind is working better than ever, since I am not distracted by unnecessary crippling emotions. I have already begun letting a few selected people in on my secret. I only test the strongest for their suitability. The pale skin that has resulted from my work can be difficult to hide. There are probably people who have noticed this already. As my strength grows, so does the risk, but there is only one logical course of action now that leads to the completion of my work. Okay, so I guess this is how they came up with the idea for the albs, right? Because it has been noted a couple of times that albs were actually originally created by the clerics. Which is also why they want to hide this. Because obviously they are probably not proud of the fact that the greatest enemy of the free people of the world is their creation. Laboratory Director's Report. Contaminated personnel, Elex. Day 73 after the impact, the contamination has been isolated. An added benefit of filtration process is that we have separated samples for testing. The substance must have come from the comet, but how has it spread so far and so quickly? 75% of the base personnel have taken off their standard duties to study the substance. We are now dealing with the first cases of personnel. Excuse me. We are now dealing with first cases of personnel who have come into contact with the contaminated water. We haven't been able to unlock the molecular structure of this alien substance. Simons has made an unbelievable discovery. Energy. This substance stores energy, and he thinks it can be easily tapped. That means we could have found a power source. And the politicians among us have already managed to sell it to the people. We have called it Elex. They have withheld its negative effects. I suppose people need good news these days. My entire team is now working on adapting our technology to work with this new power source. If we are lucky, we have taken a step towards survival. Maybe the impact has brought us some good news after all. If we can master these properties rather than going backwards, we can make technological advancements. Senior Physician's Report. The people affected by the contaminated water have begun to develop a range of conditions. I await reports from the medical teams. Mutations, white skin, emotionally cold, pain in extremities. We have isolated all cases. We are monitoring their progress. First fatality, suicide. Have ordered around-the-clock observation of all the other cases. Interesting, suicide? You know, to commit suicide, you can't commit suicide without emotion, or at least it's very unlikely, because to be honest, the only scenario I could think of where someone would not possess any emotions and still choose to commit suicide is in the imminent threat of like horrible pain, because in that case killing yourself might still be seen as the logical choice, even without the need of any emotional feeling of pain or hopelessness. But still interesting. Different mental issues have now been observed in all subjects. Most degenerate slowly. Only one subject remains clear thinking. Aggression, uncontrollable strength, several personnel injured, had to euthanize all but one of the contaminated patients. Only subject A5 shows different development. Several theories why, but no definitive findings. Ordered autopsy of all of the bodies. Classified Elex as a highly poisonous substance. Subject A5 agreed to continue testing. Rational thinking not affected, emotional centers of the brain completely changed. Ordered the use of highest security level while handling Elex. Autopsies have revealed extensive physical mutations in all affected residents. Subject A5 attempted to break out. He was taken back into custody but required the efforts of a full security team. Ordered his sedative levels to be doubled. Subject now calm. Assembled research team. We are trying to find out why these mutations arise. There might be something useful in the pronounced levels of rational thinking. No useful results. Subject A5 is socially cold, follows logical lines without emotion. The subject places his own preservation as the highest priority. We were not able to moderate the negative effects of Elex. All other test subjects degenerated. Only those few with particularly strong mental qualities develop the same mental aptitude as the subject A5. Project has been shelved. All subjects are to be euthanized for security purposes. Work report from a technician. Water contamination. Several reports about contaminated water. Inspected the water lines in compartments D3 and F2. No leaks found. Nevertheless, there are reports from all areas served with the water via these lines. Send a team to inspect the entire pipe system. The contamination must be coming from somewhere. No results. Continue work tomorrow. Contamination continues. Compartments D4 and 5 as well as A1 are also heavily affected. Sending teams to inspect all of the pipeline. We are short-handed, so I'm going to myself to the main pipeline. We have to find the reason for the contamination quickly. Almost the entire water system has been affected. The contamination is everywhere, but no one is able to identify what the substance is. The lab team has taken ground samples. I assigned a team to design a way to filter this out, whatever this is. As a precaution, we've evacuated the affected living areas. We have tested a successful filtration process. We are beginning a purge of the system. Okay, a treatise on Elex. My research into the climate of the old world has led me to an interesting conclusion. Elex has influenced Magellan's temperature, and it has changed our climate. The area that we know as Xander was mild, with a climate similar to that of Abessa before the comet's impact. However, Magellan's temperature has decreased considerably in the last few decades. The ice landscapes that we now know as Xander today are therefore still very young. The reason for that has to be Elex. The cooling process has considerably accelerated since the Alps began gathering Elex and concentrating it in Xander. What else do we not know about Elex? Well, I don't know. Cleric history book about the wars with berserkers. The truth about Eisenfaust. Since our brothers and sisters are always faced by the temptation of rumor, allow me to explain once and for all how Erich Eisenfaust defeated her mechs. It was at the time that the berserkers began to improve their powers. They moved to plant their so-called world hearts, not only in the Dan, but beyond their borders and into Ignadon. To counter this incursion, we dispatched a unit of combat mechs to drive out this incursion. The attack was successful at first, driving out or killing most of their warriors. The mechs were then confronted by this Erich Eisenfaust, but he did not defeat the mechs with the power of their mana, as the berserkers claim. Instead, it was a common failure of their power supplies. Eisenfaust is not to be celebrated as a hero. This is merely propaganda. Do not believe in the power of their magic. It is vastly overstated. Writings on the calendar year. The history of Magellan's calendar. A calendar is essential for the order in our world. The previous calendar became useless after the comet crashed into our world. Our community, after it recovered from the catastrophe, we worked to create a new adjusted calendar. Every believer is expected to accept Kalan's wisdom on this matter. Each year will now consist of 11 equal months. Our calendar dates will begin on the day of the comet's impact, now called Year Zero. That makes no sense, unless the comet's impact somehow changed the way celestial bodies behave in this planet's solar system, because otherwise, okay, I guess it doesn't really matter, because you could change the year, provided it still has the same number of days. You could slice it differently, change the number of months if you really wanted to, but I guess you could disconnect it entirely from the way the planet actually behaves, from the way it revolves around the sun or something, but that would be very counterintuitive, I think, if you did that. Well, don't think it matters that much. Dietrich's search warrant. I hereby certify that the outpost is to be searched for forbidden items in my name. The bearer of this warrant is to perform their duty at the location designated, and all personnel are to be cooperative. Dietrich. Okay. So that's all in this location. Let's try returning to that person that wanted this book in the first place. And also, I still have to visit the cathedral, right? Oh, that's the cathedral. So where's the other? There was supposed to be two of those Judicators, right? Oh, I guess that's one of them, and the other one is upstairs. The other one is Ulbricht. Okay, so I've talked to them both then. I think that's it then, as far as exploring this place is concerned. Delivery note. Protocol B17. No matter the problems you are facing, the rate of delivery must not fall. Recommendation. The yield sourced from the external camps must increase. The responsibility for delivering this will fall to Brother Volkmar. Okay, Volkmar is the one that's enslaving outlaws in Tavar to mine scrap for him.
You aren't the first to tell me that.
House of Suggestors have been here. Although I'm not sure if I searched the entirety of it, so let's just quickly run through it. Okay, I think that's it. Then. So let me find the woman that wanted the book, because I do have the book, and then I can start clearing out the quests in here.
And that makes them dangerous. You have been told.
Question of faith, yeah.
They're only saying that.
Wait, what? Ah, that's where the quest is, you know, the objective of the quest is located. The quest giver is actually orange on the map.
Listen to me, disciple of Kalan. There was an uprising in the domed city of Abessa. This is a punishment to us all, for we suffered the impure to live amongst us. We did not save their souls, but instead allowed their disease of heresy to spread, tempting and ruining others. Stand firm, people of Kalan. Stand firm and keep to the path of the pure. And so, another stray comes to seek safety in the arms of Kalan. Welcome to the Hort, the stronghold of the clerics. Your presence here can only mean that Kalan's light shines upon you. Open yourself to this opportunity. Give yourself over to the teachings of Kalan.
I'm not interested, really.
Not interested.
Then you turn your back not only on Kalan, but on your own future. You should learn what Kalan offers all of us. Then I'm sure you will make the correct decision.
Who are you?
I am Oswald. When Brother Reyna found me, I was just a wretched pile of misery. I was blind to who I could be. Reyna built me up, gave purpose to my life. Now, I'm spreading the teachings that saved me from destroying myself, in hope that those words can be the salvation of others. that they can save all of Magaland. So I invite you to stay here and contemplate with us, brother.
Tell me more about Kalan.
Before the comet burned the face of Magaland, the prophet Arvid foresaw the danger. He received the teachings of Kalan in whispers, and tried to warn the people of Magaland of the horror that was to come. They must reject the distractions of the world and give themselves over to the pursuit of knowledge. Each must seek the purity of knowledge. Each must seek out the strongest, the fittest, the brightest. And so, Kalan came to the people and promised, if they did this, if they worked together to follow the path to the infinite skies, then he would save them from the horror that was to come. But they would not listen. And so, the comet destroyed the civilization that was here on Magaland. Now, if we are to survive the dangers that are yet to come, we must listen to the words of Kalan and hear his wisdom. Only the pure will be taken up into the infinite skies. Only under the infinite skies will we truly see all. We must trust in Kalan.
Where is Kalan supposed to take you?
Up to the infinite skies, to where knowledge counts above all. There, we will truly see the universe as it is. The path to enlightenment is difficult, and only those who are worthy will receive Kalan's blessing. Look inside yourself, and take my words to heart. May they be a guide in the times to come.
Have you heard anything about chem dealing here in the Hort?
Only the Judicator Reinhold and Dietrich are seeking those responsible. I know that they must be successful. And once the impure are led to them, Kalan will see that they are punished. Kalan will take the pure into the promised land.
Okay, he doesn't...
Cleric Bertram has returned to our side. We give thanks for his safe homecoming, and welcome him back among his brethren.
He isn't really talkative on the subject of the chems, which is a bit suspicious in its own right, because I've specifically been given a warrant.
Stop! Where do you think you're going?
What is this area?
You are here at the Chamber, the Palace of Sinners. Break the commandments of Kalan and Ignadon, and the Chamber will welcome you. Can you walk in and look around? Well, as it happens, you can. Reinhold recently ordered that everyone can enter to see with their own eyes what we do with heretics. So go in and look around. If anything will push back the power of temptation, it's what you'll see in there.
Okay.
What is it you want?
I need to ask you some questions about the chem dealing.
So, Reinhold's brought in some more help. I've already written the report as ordered, but remind me, who are the chief suspects?
Siegfried, Hagen, and Oswald.
That's exactly who I wrote up in my report. All that I know is there. Maybe it will help.
Thanks.
Okay, so I have one of the 3 reports. Cleric propaganda.
No, no, no. No, no, no. I'm not ready yet. Kalan will guide me. Kalan must offer me salvation. No.
I acted against Kalan. I must face my punishment. Let my faith be proven.
No, no, no. Not me. I won't. Kalan will save me.
Oh, that's the guy that they wanted me to kill?
Those self-righteous bastards. They should all rot. Every last one of them. Can't you see the truth about them? And you? What about you? Don't tell me you're planning on joining those lunatics. You can't be that stupid. Just get me the fuck out of here, will you? These bastards have got no right to keep me here.
You're obviously not here willingly.
No shit. I was kidnapped, so they could try and brainwash me into joining this cult. But they won't get me so easily.
How did you end up here?
They said we attacked one of their outposts. Total bullshit. What do they think I am, suicidal? Anyway, they wouldn't listen. They dragged me here and tried to brainwash me. But their bullshit didn't take. I remembered everything. And so instead of setting me free, they dropped me down here.
Where are you from?
Tavar. A bunch of these assholes came over the border. These idiots I was with were too busy fighting among themselves to see the clerics creeping up on us. They ambushed us out there and then dragged us to Ignadon after we'd been wounded.
But you do have a plan.
Plan? I don't have a plan. Not yet. I just know I have to get out of here. I won't let them turn me into some mindless slave.
And you expect me to help you?
Expect? I don't expect anything. But I hope you can see what these clerics say about free people is bullshit. They don't care about freedom. They want to brainwash you. So, will you help me?
Interesting. Do we help this murdering outlaw? Or do we leave him stuck in this morally objectionable situation? This is a dilemma.
It wasn't murder. It was early self-defense.
Early self-defense? Okay, so he is possibly a murderer, which makes this difficult for me, because obviously I don't think murderers should be allowed to roam the streets free. They are dangerous. They have proven that by committing murder in the first place, and I think they should be punished for that. But I just don't agree with the cleric's use of brainwashing as punishment. That would make him into a slave, basically. And it is even worse than that. I was talking about that earlier, how the cleric's suggestion takes away your own free will. You don't even know you're being a slave when they control you. So, I've got no reason to help you. That's not true. The reason would be I disagree with the method that the clerics used to punish him.
I've got no reason to help you.
Yeah, you say that now. Wait until they try to do to you what they've done to me. Then you'll be asking me for help. Come back when you've reconsidered.
So, about your escape.
So do I want to help him escape? That's very questionable. But if I don't, then he's going to end up brainwashed, which is something that nobody deserves, in my opinion. I think I will help him and hope he doesn't murder any more people.
So, about your escape. You must have some ideas.
First thing, it can't be my escape. I want my friend to get out of here too. I gotta get my friend Wolf out of here somehow. Only problem is, he's already one of them. He thinks he's a fucking cleric. I've spoken to him. He doesn't remember a damn thing about me. Or where he came from. But that's not your problem, I suppose. I can handle that if you get me a weapon and a disguise. Get me that, and we can move forward from there. But hurry. I don't know how long I can hold out against the suggesters. 2 days and they might take my mind.
Okay, so that's actually horrible and horrifying, because that other guy was an outlaw as well, but at this point he already believes he's a cleric, and he ordered me to kill this guy, who presumably used to be his friend, because I don't think he was lying. What would be the reason for him to lie if Wolf wants him dead? Why would he include him in his escape plan if he wasn't his friend?
Is there any equipment you need to help your escape?
Well, my axe will be useful. I'll bet it's being stored in the house of the suggesters. They store anything they confiscate in there. It's bound to be guarded though, so be careful. And if you can get me some clothing from the merchants in the miners' quarter, that should help me get out without being noticed. I can't escape in this clothing. But when you get the stuff, bring it all together, okay? This cell doesn't give me a chance to hide anything from the eyes of the clerics, okay?
Wolf wants to see you dead.
Of course he does. He's been brainwashed. He thinks he's a cleric now. Poor bastard.
Okay, that's certainly wrong. I don't approve of their brainwashing at all. Oh, this is the what I saw through the window when talking with Ulbricht.
What is it you want? It's prayer time, so make it quick.
What is this place?
Here, we bring peace and honor to those who refuse Kalan. For only an honorable death can bring salvation. Only an honorable death can purify a tainted soul. And so, I bring honor to the souls who break Kalan's commandments.
Interesting. We clerics do have a most advanced set of technology, and yet our justice is primitive.
Words like that show you need re-educating.
Okay, he's probably the worst spy in the history of forever. He keeps talking about how the beliefs and the practices of the clerics, of which he is supposed to be one of, are weird or strange, and he's talking about them in a way that suggests it's the first time ever in his entire life that he has seen those things. So he's certainly not a cleric, of that I am sure, but whoever he is, he's not doing the greatest job at pretending he is a cleric. So, you know, we'll see about that.
What you wanted.
Unbelievable. Now, I can finally read Arvid's original text. You really did me a big favor.
Pay me if you want. If not, then I guess I will be interested enough to learn what's the deal with Kalan. That's going to be a reward enough for me.
That will do.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Glad to help.
Oh, yeah. If I find anything interesting in these writings, I will let you know. That's the least I can do for you.
That was well done.
Okay, so I guess I probably need to wait until she tells me more. Now. The guards, right? They have information about... Okay, so I've spoken to the pit guard, pit guard already. There's the guard at the main door, I guess, the main gate.
What do you know about the chem dealing here in the Hort?
Well, take a look at this. Reinhold has sent you to investigate, has he? Before I give you my report about the suspects, I'd like to make you an offer. There's a trader here who is being troublesome. He's a cagey guy, doesn't share his business. He needs re-education. Trust me, the Hort doesn't need traders selling unregulated goods. So I want you to report back that this trader, Siegfried, is the dealer. Say he's guilty, job done. And I'll know you've done the Hort a favor. It goes without saying I will pay you for helping out.
No, I'm not accusing him without proof, exactly.
No, I'm not accusing Siegfried without proof.
Proof? Well, I'm sure you'll find it. But you can save yourself a job and have Siegfried sent for re-education. I hope to hear you've done the right thing and accused him. And I'll make sure you're thanked for that noble choice. Here's the report I've compiled. This is as far as I got with my personal investigation. I think reading that will show you the wisdom of simply reporting Siegfried now. Good luck.
Excellent.
There's nothing for you here. Get out of here, and get out of here now. Yeah, just get out of here.
Carry Kalan in your heart. Let yourselves be his instrument.
What can I help you with?
I want to ask you some questions about the chem trade here.
How do you know about that?
Judicator Reinhold sent me. I'm supposed to have a look at your reports from the time of the crime.
Judicator Reinhold sent you to look into this? Oh well, I suppose he knows what he's doing. Here is my report on the suspects. That's all I know.
Okay, so let's read those reports before I talk with the suspects themselves. I'm just going to mark it on my map. Wait, what? It's supposed to be... Those are not the three I'm supposed to question. It was Oswald, Hagen and Siegfried. I guess I have to find them on my own. I do roughly know Hagen is in that combat training building, and I'll find the other two if I run around a little bit. But for now, let me read the notes, I guess, to know what I can expect. I saw Siegfried in the machine shop from the morning till the afternoon. I saw Hagen in the mines in the morning, then lost sight of him. I only saw Oswald preaching during the evening. So when was the crime committed? Like at night, right? Yeah, in the night in question. Okay, so whoever it is he can't have an alibi for the night, which in this case would be all of them, to be honest, apart maybe from Oswald. I was stopped by Reinhold and asked to keep an eye on certain people. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to locate Siegfried on the day in question, which is definitely suspicious. I was able to watch Hagen in the morning, but in the afternoon he disappeared. Unable to locate him, I found and tracked Oswald in the afternoon. Surveillance protocol of the subjects. Siegfried. Watched him from afternoon till morning. I was not able to observe anything unusual. Hagen. Watched him all night. Was not able to observe anything unusual. Was able to observe him in the morning. Not able to observe anything unusual. I wish for Kalan's sake everyone would follow protocol. Okay, I have to talk with the suspects themselves then. So I haven't learned much from this.
I don't know the guy. Suppose I never will now.
What do you know about the chem dealing here in the Hort?
What should I know about it?
That's what I want to know.
Well, you know, it's what I want to know too. And I don't know anything about it. Not without clawing some information out of someone. I mean, if you were to claw it out of me, then okay. But otherwise, I won't say anything more about it.
Claw? What are you talking about?
A claw. Doesn't that give you claws for thought? No, sorry. I must have had the wrong idea about you.
Okay, so he's talking about that because there seems to be a thief organization using claws as their mark. That was mentioned to me in Goliath by Ulbricht. But I'm not a member of that, so obviously I'm not the person he's looking for, but that does make him a bit suspicious.
You've been accused of dealing chems here in the Hort.
That's a lie. A complete lie. That's more of a lie than any other lie I could think of. Lie, 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 lie.
Okay, that didn't tell me much.
Some guys just open their mouths too much.
Okay, Hagen, I know where he is. And Oswald I've already talked to. So, Hagen is in that training center, right?
What do you know about the chem dealing here in the Hort?
I know I don't have anything to do with it, and I don't want to be connected to it either. Fighting is about purity. Chems are far from pure.
Okay, I didn't learn anything, so perhaps I have to
We have nothing to talk about.
utilize that search warrant and actually search their quarters, you know, for actual evidence. Because otherwise I'm not entirely sure how am I supposed to make a decision. But there seems to be nothing in those rooms anyway. Like there's a fork that's not exactly useful as far as establishing you know, as far as establishing culpability for a crime goes.
I am watching you.
Okay, I'll think more about it, but I'll do it next time because this episode has been long enough. So I'm going to save. And end it for now. That's all for this one, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!